Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the first episode of today's doubleheader of Legacy Loading. And today we got the original co-host of the show, Mr. JM. How you doing, buddy?
I I'm
Yes,
finally free.
he's
I don't
free.
have to play Tomb Raider games anymore.
He's free. We gave him his papers and we said you get 40 acres and a mule soon.
Thank God. I haven't eaten in days.
So today's episode, as you probably have already read from the title, is about Tomb Raider, and this is from the early days of video game industry over here from 2002. So we're going to be learning about the history of Lara Croft and the studio behind it, and this is only probably goes up to, I believe, Angel of Darkness, if I recall
You
correctly.
said 2002?
Yeah.
It shouldn't include Angel of Darkness then, because that was released a year later.
Uh, some of these shows, I think, preview their work. So I'm guessing they're going to be previewing Angel of Darkness in here.
Oh, my condolences to them then.
Yeah. Well, you know it's funny because we've been doing the series. They had Peter Molyneux on before he did Fable, and then they also had on. We did an episode of Bioware, and that was right as they got the Knights of the Republic announcement too. So a lot of
Oh wow.
these, a lot of these were taking place well before some of their like stratospheric hits. You know.
Or catastrophic falls in the case of core design.
Yeah, well, a lot of before they like completely failed and everything else too. You are correct about that. So, when we originally did the show, we did a top 10 favorite games episode that lasted way too long. And
Yeah, that was a mess.
yes, they were all kind of learning what we were trying to do at that point. But uh, Mr. JM here said Tomb Raider was one of his favorite video games of all time, and if I recall correctly, it was number 3. You said right?
It was 2.
2. I was close. All right.
It was 2.
So you want to give your give a little bit of your glowing reviews of the Tomb Raider series, besides what it has become with some of their later installments.
Yes, it's this series, despite its many flaws, is very near and dear to my heart because it, along with like Rayman 2 and Earthworm Jim, were like my very early formative years of gaming when I played on, the old family PC as we all did in the late 90s. And I don't know how I amassed pretty much all of them, like all of the like original ones on PC, but I played the hell out of them. I wasn't any good at them because I was like 5. So and these games are a bit of a challenge, even for adults, given the oddities of the control schemes. But they're a great action adventure kind of like puzzle game because of how they're designed around, at least the original 5, are designed around a grid system. So everything works within deliberate movements of the grid, and all of those designs and those puzzles are made, you know, so there's a particular way that you can solve them, and it's easier for you to understand how Lara moves, which was a major problem for a lot of games during that time because of how a lot of like clipping and hitbox issues were a major issue. Lara moves very specifically, so you can figure out like that the entire game is basically its own puzzle, and you can work through those solutions. And the amount of environments that Lara gets to go throughout all of the games, it makes it just a real fun adventure that was kind of one of the closest things that you could get to like an Indiana Jones game during that time. It's since evolved like Uncharted, in that regard, but it's these games are still near and dear to my heart, and I still replay them every so often.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how things have come full circle because Tomb Raider was definitely inspired by Indiana Jones a little bit, and Indiana Jones was inspired by the other old serials of World War II, black and white eras. And then,
Yeah.
then we got Uncharted, which was basically inspired by Tomb Raider. And then we got Tomb Raider that just copied Uncharted. And now we got Indiana Jones that came out again recently. It is a very funny cycle that just keeps coming around with these three particular franchises we just named.
Yeah, what's the old phrase? It's like good artists copy, great artists steal, kind of deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Where
it's like history doesn't repeat itself; it just rhymes.
yeah, and they just keep kind of uh, going on top of each other, trying to like copy things that have worked, and eventually it culminated into Tomb Raider being essentially an Uncharted clone that really, really hates its main character and wants to beat the shit out of it. And those games are fun, but holy crap, they're a mess when it comes to how they treat their main character.
It is kind of awesome to see though at the same time because I do like watching like a main character struggle, and Lara Croft just gets her shit kicked in the later games.
Yeah, in particularly like Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they kind of tone it down a bit to make it at least manageable, because in the reboot, like it's so much that it gets silly. Like I was playing it like a week or two ago, and I'm just sitting there just going, this is getting stupid. Like give my bitch a break.
And we also want to give special shout out to Mr. Nerd Takes in the chat. What up, everyone? He says, Tomb Raider is a franchise I just never got into. Same, never really got into it. I got him on the to-do list, but like that to-do list is way too long.
I will say, if you didn't play games like that were kind of similar to Tomb Raider, or you have a particular low tolerance for tank controls, it is a bit of a slog to get through the originals. Granted, the remasters, I think they have the ability to adapt a modern control scheme. So I think that might be useful for you when you eventually play them. But I didn't try it because I'm so used to the tank controls. I just play that way, and any new addition will throw me off. And with that particular game, if you can't get adjusted to the movement, you're not going to have a good time.
Yeah. And we also got another person joining us, Mr. Snapple Rai. How are you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good one. And hope you're well rested after your 13-hour car ride yesterday. That was probably taxing. All right. Enough foreplay. Let's get right into this, shall we?
Yep.
Wait, your character's
get to learn about the feminist revision of British history, which is essentially a posh British woman going to an ancient primitive civilization going, you have nice stuff. I want it.
Exactly.
And taking it.
I say the same thing all the time, but I just don't take it. You got nice stuff. Alrighty, get everything all set up here, and let's begin.
She kicked open the doors for virtual women everywhere.
Someone asked me who Lara Croft is. I'd have to say that she's the infamous female adventurer.
Let me get that. There we go.
And broke every rule.
For them to have a female character with something very, very different, and people said we were mad. I mean, there was very heated discussions.
Real-life legends wanted a piece of her.
Bono called us. He wants to have Lara Croft.
Bono?
Fucking Bono? What?
Did they say that right? I've never heard someone call him Bono before.
It's Bono, right?
I know. Bono wanted to play Tomb Raider.
But of all things, but to the point where they said it is controversial, they were right. The original, like the original like 6 developers, with particular like the head of of the team, actually had to fight for that to happen, because I think it was Eidos that wanted a male front runner, like main character,
Yeah.
and the core design said no, like we're doing it this way, and they were right to do so, because look how much fucking money they made.
Yes. And how many men grew up with triangle titties?
Indeed.
The Pop Mark tour.
And she became every boy's fantasy.
My mom is very worried. I haven't had a date in a long, long time.
I could tell.
We are aware, sir.
I-
Holy shit.
Yes. You look like you fucking send people fucking dead birds as a sign of affection, bro.
Good
Laura
lord.
Croft is very, very real to me. My friends say she's too real.
Her beauty caused a backlash.
She's unproportionate.
This was peak femininity, I guess, back in the day.
That's not natural. Physics aren't. It doesn't work like that.
While her adventures inspired millions.
Laura is a fantasy. She is what everybody wants to be, boy or girl. She represents an Indiana Jones type character where you can go out and find something, hunt it down, take care of the baddies, and then prevail over evil.
This is the story of a sexy, kick-ass character who became a virtual goddess. Prepare yourself for Lara Croft.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
There you go, JM. Is this how you discovered you liked women? Is this why you liked it?
That's actually that clip is actually from the ending of Tomb Raider 2.
Really?
And I love that game, so I find that ending scene really funny.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know that. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eidos is still around there, Nerd Takes. Actually, they've just been announced that they're working on Grounded 2 with Obsidian, actually. They just said that the other day.
Are they still a publisher, or are they a developer now?
Eidos got bought out by Square Enix, and then Square Enix sold them off to Embracer. So they're part of the Embracer.
Yeah, so is Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah.
Because I know that Eidos Montreal was kind of the main hand in the Shadow of the Tomb Raider game, which is why Shadow of the Tomb Raider has a Angel of Darkness costume in the game, which I don't know if that's good advertising because that game is shit, but they're just they just can't bring themselves to to not have people remember them for being just abhorrent pieces of shit.
Yeah, and then we got our other friend here, Fernando, aka Mr. Metal Shred Freak. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing good. He misses you too, buddy.
Give me 1 second. I actually want to go get like my big box PC box of like the Tomb Raider games, so just give me 2 seconds.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. All right, that's the show, guys. He's not back in time. Yeah, they've been working with Microsoft a lot more there in their takes. They've worked with, they're working on Fable, and they just got announced, like I said, they're working with Obsidian for Grounded 2. So it sounds like they're taking a lot of gig work recently because they might have some funding issues with Embracer.
All right, I'm back.
He said you're grabbing
Sorry
your
about that.
goon gear. Did you grab your goon gear?
You know, you say that, but there's actually an ad in one of these big box PC games that's actually really funny.
Oh, jeez.
Find it. Here it is. It's a. Good lord. All right, you can start the video. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
All right, cool. Feels like this volume's a little too low. I don't know why. Might be just my end. Audio issues, right?
In 1988, the world of video games is pretty limited.
For the most part, there were very rigid
hurting my
genres.
eyes.
There was fighting genres, there was role-playing games, sports games, and driving games.
Paul Baldwin, was that this guy's name? I think that's what it said.
Confident he could make better games, Jeremy Smith, a 27-year-old computer salesman, uses an inheritance to start his own game development company. His kid brother
That is like
soon
the most
joins
British
the
way to
ride.
start a business.
Yeah. My parents died and I decided to start a company.
would come to core design with a concept or a game idea. So for a good 4 years, we were developing games, some of the old classics.
Why are they in Montreal if they're from the UK? I don't get this. This is a horrible image to freeze on, by the way. He looks like
Yes,
that
it
guy
is.
from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I don't know. Is one of is does Square Enix have like a place in Canada or something? I'm not exactly sure. Because
I think they were bought
I don't
by
know-
Square Enix later.
yeah, I'm not sure why they have a studio in Montreal.
Oh, what about-
I'll have to do some digging.
We'll probably find out. We'll see.
Rick Dangerous and things that sort of went out and that we developed, but not on a core design name.
After years of developing, the brothers decide to come up with some
Can they fucking stop with this like thing? It's going to give me a seizure with how bright and flashy it is. It's actually hurting my eyes. Jeez.
concepts of their own. They released
That looks so gay.
Thunderhawk and a few other successful titles. And by the mid-1990s, the red-hot core design is adopted by gaming giant Eidos Interactive. And just in time, because the brothers are preparing to drop a bombshell on
Wait,
the
so what was Eidos? I'm confused right there. Eidos bought them out? Is that what?
Eidos is it seems to be the parent company of
Right.
Core Design, because Core Design at the time was like only a couple people. It was
Okay.
like 7 to 8 people,
Okay.
and Eidos bought them out because I believe they were the major publisher. Yeah, they were the major publisher, and they probably bought because they had and Core Design had a couple of hits on past consoles. I think there was a Sega Genesis game that was very popular.
Yeah, didn't they just say Thunderhawk was one of their games?
Yes. Yeah, so they bought them out. Yeah, and let's see, where's company? Yeah, it's. I don't know really much about the backgrounds of the
Brothers?
acquisitions because I didn't really care. I was more interested in the game's history than anything else.
Right. All right, let's continue.
entire video game industry.
You bossed
Still
one.
have to wake ourselves
No
up
shred.
and pinch ourselves that we, very sort of created this character.
This character comes from a brand new concept.
For the most part, the landscape of gaming was more of the same, meaning it was more of what people had been accustomed to from the Nintendo Super System and the Sega Genesis.
People
What?
keep forgetting, this is the one that established 3D character-based action adventure. This is it.
There were lots of what we'd call first-person character games around where, you're just the eyes of the character, you don't actually see the body of the character.
Oh,
and we really
jeez.
wanted to move it to the next
Bit
level.
rate.
And where will this new character live?
And we had this idea that we wanted to be a sort of an adventurer, and we go to these strange, bizarre places in the world. But so let's do it through a video game.
And this new adventurer, what would he be like?
And we wrote down things like we wanted the character to have an agility, a coyness. We wanted people to relate to the character. We wanted them to be vulnerable. We didn't want the character to be sort of a muscle-bound superhero.
Oh.
The
Okay.
closed
And then you made her a genocidal maniac.
begin to open.
Good job. You achieved tasks failed successfully.
We wanted to be vulnerable, and the only people we could think of that are vulnerable are women.
idea of having a woman play the lead character in an action game stirs controversy.
We were very conscious that up until then, 95% of the game playing public, sort of 7 years ago, were male. And for them to have a female character was something very, very different. And people said we were mad. I mean, there was very heated discussions.
Very revolutionary.
I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, to be honest with you, I still know to this day people that will not play a video game if you play as a woman.
That's because it's woke. It's woke garbage.
Kind of. This was before that whole trend kind of went into it, but like I had a buddy of mine whose brother refused to play as women video games. He was like, I wanted to play Horizon Zero Dawn so badly, and then I saw a woman was the lead, and I said, "Fuck that."
Those people are playing like frilly women characters in MMOs. You just know.
No. This guy, he is. He will never say he's misogynist, but I don't believe that for a fucking minute.
The fact that he refuses to play a game that he desperately wants to because there's a woman character that he has to play as. Yeah. Like, you ain't beating those allegations, bro.
Yeah, I know. He's like, no, I don't hate women. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Survey says differently.
And it was extremely risky at the time. Nobody realized what the impact would be on the game.
A young graphic artist at Core is given the lucky assignment of creating this female heroine.
Keep in mind, the person who created Lara Croft was an 18-year-old boy from England. And like any 18-year-old boy, he has...
What?
He knew the assignment.
An 18-year-old boy
Christ.
from England made Lara Croft. All right. I guess I can kind of see it.
That surprises no one.
No, it does not.
some images of women that, pop up in his mind.
And those looks are raising eyebrows, questions, and much, much more.
And I get asked the question
That's a penis joke.
a lot, proportionally, why does she look like she looks? It's done for a reason, and that reason being that, proportionally she's drawn like that so that actually people notice her features.
And boy, do they notice.
If we made her waist
God
a bit
damn it.
larger, she just looks like a cylinder. She looks like, you don't notice anything.
But this babe is more than just a smoking body.
This character,
Yeah, she's a
being
psychopath.
A gymnast, an athlete, that was something that we wrote down in this paper. We wanted this person to be able to jump large gaps. We wanted to have that fluidity and slinkiness, really, in how she moved.
Every hot-bodied virtual female ass kicker needs a good name. How about Laura Cruz?
Yeah,
Laura
they originally
Cruz.
wanted her to be South American.
It probably would have fit better, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah. Sure, it's like so a woman.
Jesus.
For the American people to pay an English character as opposed to an American character. So we changed the name to Lara Croft. We thought Croft was very
Yes, that very typical American last name of Cruz.
sort of upper crust British.
Lara Croft is an heiress who turns her back on high society to explore archaeological finds across the world. The game, named Tomb Raider, offers a beautiful character set in a world of true 3D thrills.
Hell yeah.
Suddenly people could be in that room and they could look around, whereas before it'd just be purely a 2D game which moved left and right of the screen.
And it blends action and adventure like never before. You have these true 3D environments. You have a character that you can maneuver and control.
It's time to debut the voluptuous heroine.
We went to the Consumer Electronics Show and we displayed it, and the buzz.
You know what? I think this guy's favorite movie was The Matrix. Do you agree with me?
Most likely,
It definitely
yes.
looks like he is a Matrix enjoyer.
Was amazing. Literally, the game took off.
And there was just throngs of people in front of it.
Tomb Raider is released on PC, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation in late 1996.
I mean, to be fair, this was pretty revolutionary at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're fighting like raptors and stuff like that too. You're going on. You have like a lot more like freedom of motion compared to like other games like Resident Evil and that too.
Yeah, and apparently they actually had a very difficult time actually making her be able to interact with the environment smoothly, and that's why they came up with the grid system.
Yeah.
To make her movements deliberate and easy to track within the environment, and it led to this incredibly revolutionary game, and it's why the game got how many sequels now? 11, basically.
Reboots, seboots, prequels.
Multiple reboots, arcade games, which are actually quite fun.
But nothing will ever top Angel of Darkness, the best one of the series, right?
You shut your whore mouth. No, but yeah, no, they got 2 movies out of this character, and the first one, if I remember correctly, was actually quite good. The second one, not so much.
With Angelina?
Yeah, Angelina Jolie, and she played the character perfectly, for obvious reasons. None of them of which are acting.
I forget that she exists sometimes now because she's like gone, you know.
Oh yeah, well she doesn't have to work anymore. She's got that that Hollywood blood money now.
Yeah, she does. Well, didn't she like go through like 17 men in like 1 year, getting married and divorced?
Oh yeah, God, what was that like in our high school years where it was basically any Hollywood scandal bullshit with relationships involved her in some way.
Yeah, well, it was also weird too. She like married Billy Bob Thornton for like a day, and I was like, "What happened with this one here?"
It's just like I woke up the next morning and I'm like, "Oh fuck, time to go."
All right, let's continue.
Lara Croft sets out on her first adventure to find the Scion, a treasured art.
I didn't watch the Eternals Nerd Takes. That's why I forgot about her even having another acting gig. All right, and also
did anyone actually watch the Eternals?
Wasn't that like 2021 too? 2020? That was like 5 years ago. You're talking about something from 5 years ago. That's still not proving my point wrong there, Jay.
Holy crap, that was 2021.
Holy shit, yeah, I know.
It wasn't just fighting, it wasn't just role-playing game, it was all those together and formed a new genre, action-adventure.
Did this form the new genre of action-adventure, or did it like kind of take it to the next level? What's your honest opinion about that?
I have doubts, but I think it's more apt to say that it probably cemented what action-adventure games were going to be from now on. I think that's a better way to explain it. Because if you dig deep enough, there's probably something on the early parts of the PlayStation 1 or like the Sega Genesis or whatever that were action-adventure games. But I think this probably cemented the 3D action-adventure games from here on out.
Yeah, I can see that, but because I know that like other like action-adventure kind of games like were around. It's not like the genre's new. It's just like I think this was like the first majorly successful one that went 3D.
Because I know there was like a very early Prince of Persia game that was, you could consider that an action adventure, but that was 2D.
Right.
So, I don't think that they're right. I think it's, I think it's more. It just revolutionized it to a 3D perspective.
Are you telling the guy that like obviously sniffs women's hair as like a first date sign might be wrong about something? No.
Yeah.
To not only position the camera behind Lara Croft as she runs to give these beautiful panoramic cinematic views.
God, he looks like he hides women's body parts in his freezer.
And those panoramic views.
He's like that like one JoJo villain that like constantly keeps a woman's hand around and like caresses it. That's what the vibes he gives me.
15 massive 3D levels. as well as the smashing gameplay, propel sales. Laura's
I wouldn't call it
natural
smashing, but
accents
yes.
are overlooked.
You know, this was like really badly edited, like with the sound mixing and everything, because this does not make the game look fun. It's just like weird, like tone deaf kind of
Yeah,
sound effects.
whoever recorded the game footage for this game did not do a good job.
They did not. It's like
They're running into walls
Laura Croft.
so often.
She's just doing like random backflips and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, how can we give her a concussion today? Jesus
When
Christ.
you go to see films, you don't see crusty old grandmas in the lead roles. You see beautiful people.
He's
In
right.
this case, Lara Croft's a female, so why not make her literally and figuratively bigger than life?
But
Jesus
That was
Christ,
a tit
dude.
joke, guys.
Dude. Dude, this man was gooning before it was popular. Jesus Christ.
This guy is the
This
reason
dude
why they
needs to-
banned porn.
This dude needs to calm down.
Well, we gotta look up this guy afterwards, see what happened to him. I hope he didn't get arrested for something.
her ass-kicking
God, I hope not.
mentality that really turns gamers on.
What the fuck? Why did that blow up like that? What the fuck was that? Explain that to
Yeah,
me.
so I'll just explain the basic plot to you. Like, you are trying to find the scion or the scion, however they want to pronounce it during with whatever day, of Atlantis, which allows the villain of this game to essentially force the evolution of Atlanteans to what she calls like the next phase, and is going to essentially wipe out the planet and start a new and start a new age where she rules essentially eternally. That's the basic plot of the game. Those were the Atlantean experiments that she made, and they are a pain in the ass to kill. And that one in particular was one of the final bosses of the game, and they explode when you kill them. I don't know why. They just do.
Because it's awesome. That's why.
Yeah, they just blow up.
Takes no,
Poof.
a better word, from males.
Don't you dare put Chronicles in my face, you bitch.
Basically enters every situation to come out on top.
So make some room, boys, because Lara Croft has
Oh yeah, I forgot about
They're
him.
going to
Oh,
the
I
store
love
and
that
some
character
people
so
walk out of
much.
the game and queuing to buy the game.
Who was that character?
The character with the Uzis. So he's a mini boss in the game. Within the last section of areas in like the Atlantean part, he has dual Uzis. He rides on a skateboard and quotes Taxi Driver, and you just kill him to get your Uzis back.
Hmm.
It's the stupidest fucking thing I have ever seen, and I love him so much.
So we definitely know that this game inspired Hideo Kojima. Got it.
Most likely, yes.
I was just standing there thinking, this is so bizarre.
Tomb Raider sells more than 1 million copies in less than 4 months.
She was
That
a
is
bigger
impressive
than
for
life
the time.
force. She really
That-
drove the boat.
that is very
We just
impressive.
kinda hopped on and went along for the ride.
But every good character needs a good nemesis.
There was a site that was strictly set up to essentially exploit Laura.
What?
What's that transition? What? No, tell me more.
By
What?
January 1997, Lara Croft.
Okay, I guess we're just moving on.
We're just gonna get right to it, I guess, here.
We're just moving on.
To find a spot at the top of the sales charts worldwide.
It was even more of a phenomenon in the European continent. I mean, across the European continent. In fact, Tomb Raider is a bigger deal in Europe than it is in the U.S.
Really?
Oh yeah, they actually
Special and different.
the place in England where it was developed actually has a street name called Lara Croft Way.
Really?
That's how big it was.
That's
Yes.
cool. I didn't know that at all.
Yes, that's it, it's incredibly popular. And also cuz, you know, it's British and they don't get many wins there anymore. So, they're like, we're taking it.
It's like, welcome to the UK.
This is ours now.
Now it's a bunch of. I'm not gonna make the joke either. I'm gonna speak good on this one.
So much interest into the game, but you know, we were incredibly naive.
Laura is an unexpected breakthrough.
We were way undersupplied at the time. It took us forever to get back into stock. We just didn't know what the consumer was going to demand on this.
The buxom babe is leading a revolution.
The environments were so real. They're also exotic.
God, the way they talk
Laura
about her is
Croft
so
recalls
2000s.
Indiana
It's
Dude,
amazing.
everything is like a sexual innuendo joke. It is the greatest thing ever.
It's like, do you guys know that she has giant tits? Because we're gonna keep mentioning it.
Does that make your penis hard? I made like 7 hard penis jokes already.
God, this is amazing. This documentary itself is a relic, and I love it.
I love it so much. I didn't even realize. I feel like I should be embarrassed even more. Oh, Jesus Christ! I thought gooning was a problem. This is next level gooning. This is your grandpa's gooning right here.
This is professional gooning.
This is like your World War II vet grandpa talking about the Japs kind of level, you know?
Good Lord.
Jane, the female equivalent of James Bond, and she very much is that.
Tomb Raider goes on to sell more than 4 million copies.
Oh,
And
wow.
its star
Jesus.
appears on more than 40 magazine covers worldwide. Fans and her creators are crazy about her.
People ask questions about her like she's real. They want to know where she is, where does she take vacation.
This is just like reminds me so much of VTuber culture right now and how it's just gotten insane.
Oh, yeah, that I've never truly understood it. It's maybe I'm just a boomer, but it's odd. But what's actually fascinating is that apparently, this was in the other video that I watched, one of the heads of Core Design was not happy with how overly sexualized she was getting during this time.
We're about
Because
to, I think we're about to get to that point because they just were talking
Yeah.
about that website. So why don't we put a pin in that one and let's
All right.
get to that point because we'll probably learn more.
Hopefully they talk about it because it seems like they've moved past it.
Right.
So where does she go?
I wanna know what that was.
What does she do in her spare time?
My mom is very worried. I haven't had a date in a long, long time.
Stop
Jesus.
with the weird breathing voice that he's doing. My mom was worried. I hadn't had a date in a long, long time.
God,
Ugh.
that face makes me uncomfortable.
It's like very early 2000s. I listened to Fred Durst.
Paul, my boy, get some help.
Hold on, we got
Please.
write this name down. Paul Baldwin. We gotta look for him. We gotta see what happened to him. Hopefully he's not in jail.
Laura Croft is very, very real to me. My friends say she's too real.
Since Laura's
So
busy
creepy how he says that.
exploring the depths of the world and stuck inside her virtual environments, each year a lovely lass is chosen to represent her at special events.
We have a little entourage that she travels with. It includes 2 makeup artists, a handler, if you will, and 2 bodyguards, because she really is swarmed at the show, and now people look forward to it.
But some
What
of
the
the
fuck?
real-life Lauras cause real-life problems.
Uh-oh.
Rona, she just started saying that she was Laura Croft. And Laura wouldn't do that. Laura wouldn't open a EB store in Derby, England.
What?
Bro, she's not
What?
real. Bro, she's not real.
This is getting weird, bro. This is getting
This
very
is,
weird.
I'm getting uncomfortable.
I am getting so uncomfortable. watching
What the
this.
fuck?
Oh my god.
And it's like, well, yes, she is.
This
You're
is like the
Laura Croft.
opposite of Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux's like, I made a game and didn't play it. This guy's like, she is my everything. Jesus Christ.
He's like Helga from Arnold. He just has like a gum like Laura Croft in his closet that he just kisses.
Oh
every night.
god, he has like a mini shrine to her in his like 2x2 apartment
Oh god.
or whatever Brits have.
It's a flat. Sorry, we gotta be upfront. It's a flat to them.
Let's speak a real language, please.
Leave the Proto-Americans alone, damn it. This guy's so creepy, man. Now I'm getting more
I'm-
creeped out.
This dude is a bit much.
This guy is like what you want for a marketing director. Hey, pop culture, how you doing, buddy? It's
Yeah,
good to
but
see you.
This is a marketing director you don't let outside. This is somebody that you like keep in like the basement and feed him peanuts and go, give us more ideas, and then lock the door.
Well, they had enough confidence to put this guy on here. Maybe that's why they did all these dick and like ball and boob jokes post credits because of him.
Hell.
It's just because I'm
Houston.
listening to him talk. And don't you say that fucking devil's name in this chat there, Shred. You know better than that.
Get your ass up there and open up that store. So, yeah, but she still was the best. Noah McAndrews was a fantastic model until we found out one day when a Playboy showed up on my desk with her on the cover, which was at first exciting, but then when you went and saw the pictorial,
God damn it!
Never do.
You're making this too easy, bro.
Oh.
Oh my god, this guy was fucking horned up. It feels like 24/7.
Jesus Christ! Oh,
It was like, ooh, Playboy. I'm so excited.
wait a minute! My Lara would never do this.
Yes, my Laura's a saint. She's a virgin like my mother.
But it's like, just thinking about it, it's like, would you not expect her to like take that opportunity that probably came because of her modeling Lara Croft due to her popularity? She's gonna take it.
From what I'm learning is that this was a very big problem with their models, that they all were whores.
Maybe they need to do a better fucking job of their background checks.
You know what? Nowadays, these girls all have OnlyFans, and they would just be doing like that weird NPC stuff, like pretending to be Lara Croft on like TikTok or whatever. You know? Oh, I could just
Most
see that
likely.
right now. Oh, without a doubt. You know, Melanie Mack, if you're
But
listening, there you go. I just gave you a career.
I'm just thinking, like, how did you not expect this?
I don't know.
If you were that concerned, write it into the agreement.
You know what? I'm more concerned when he was talking about people coming up to him going like, so does Lara Croft vacation places and stuff like that? And like,
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
This is all a little weird. You know?
Yeah, the parasocial nonsense is a bit much.
Yeah, like I'm not really learning about the game. I am learning about how this like weird cult of Lara Croft like just sprung up. And
we're learning about Paul Baldwin more than anything else.
Yes, and his like what kind of
I
likes.
don't like it.
He's like Buffalo Bill of the England. Dressed up like Lara Croft, damn it.
Jesus Christ.
Or would she?
There was a site that was strictly set up to essentially exploit Lara and to show her naked. That was not how we wanted our image portrayed, really our corporate icon portrayed. And so we went after them with a vengeance, and we shut it down.
Now there would be an online movement saying censorship.
Jesus Christ.
You know it is.
I know. And it upsets me. But it's like, it's so fucking stupid.
Oh my goodness.
Is given a tough assignment by parent company Eidos. Deliver the next Lara game in time for Christmas 1997.
Almost everybody expected a second game, which was strange to us because we never even thought about doing one.
What Eidos did was go back to core and say, look, we've had this success. We've got to figure out a way that we can get this game year in and year out.
We actually developed it over
You got 8 months.
period, which was madness in hindsight.
This time, Lara is teamed with a powerful partner.
Well, right after Tomb Raider 1, we then signed our exclusive agreement with Sony.
And, Lara became sort of...
I didn't know that was an exclusive agreement with Sony. They were still published on PC though, right?
Yeah, but it was a console exclusivity agreement.
Okay. For some
reason,
I thought the other games were on Sega Saturn.
So no, only the first game was on Sega Saturn.
Okay.
Eventually, the 4th and the 5th game got released on the Dreamcast.
Weird.
So it seems that that agreement was only for probably a couple of years or a couple of games.
Yeah.
But
I've seen
I-
Tomb
I-
Raider on the Saturn many times out in the wild, and I just naturally
still
just
need to get that.
assumed.
yeah, it's Tomb Raider 1's the only one that got on the Saturn.
Yeah. It's so weird to think about that, like, Tomb Raider and Resident Evil both were on the Saturn. Can you believe that?
I didn't even know that Resident Evil was on the Saturn.
Yeah.
Was that Resident Evil 2?
No, the
or is
first
it
one.
1? It was the first one?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know.
Oh, see, we're both learning a bunch today. I want both of them for my collection.
I'd like to
but
learn
they're
less about Paul Baldwin. Thank you very much.
No, we need to learn more about Paul Baldwin.
No, I don't want to know anymore. I'm good.
I want to know if he got caught with, like, creepy, like, sexual images. What if he became, what if he transitioned and became Lara Croft? Wouldn't that be
I
great?
hate how that's not out of the realm of
It's
possibility.
not out of the realm of possibility.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Make this thought go away.
The only
don't like
woman
it.
that could be
No.
Laura is me.
No. No. Ugh.
An icon that was very much associated with Sony and with the PlayStation 1.
For the core design team, making another Tomb Raider gives them a chance to take care of some unfinished business.
There was so much that sort of ended up written on that sheet of paper that was there through the development that didn't make it into this game.
For the first time, the mystery behind Laura's missing locks in Game 1 is revealed.
We had the ponytail in through all the development in the original game, and we just couldn't get it to work properly. It just would come through a body, go through a backpack. Miraculously went from having this long, lovely ponytail to sort of having a bob.
Tomb Raider 2 is ready for the 1997 Christmas rush.
They wanted her to have more purposeful sort of missions, to be fighting against something.
In the new game, Laura races from Tibet to Venice to keep the Dagger of Xi'an, an ancient icon possessing great powers, from falling into the wrong hands.
Her motivation was the challenge. Very, very alike to Indiana Jones. It wasn't financial, it was none of that. We always said she was very financially well off from her background, from her breeding. So
From her breeding? What the hell? What's with the British
Could have
like,
said
form of
lineage.
talking?
He could have said fucking lineage. She's a fucking she's a human in the universe she exists in. She's a human being. She's not a fucking dog.
She's not a racehorse, right? Oh, that is a interesting way to phrase it, I guess.
That is a very interesting choice of words.
Yeah, I would never have thought about that, but sure. So, this is your favorite game, huh? Number 2?
Yes, this is my favorite game of all of the Tomb Raiders. It's a lot more streamlined than the first one. It's still got a slightly more open concept than some of the others, but it's much more linear than the other the first one, but it's also a lot more straightforward, and it's a more balanced game, because in the first game the combat is what I would call kind of like a monotony breaker, where it's kind of just there just in case you get bored.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, here's like a gorilla for some reason. Shoot it. In this one, there's a lot more human enemies. There's a lot more variation in like combat, and it's also combat is actually more dangerous.
Mm.
And in this game, I think has some of the best set pieces, best areas in the entire series, and has some of the best levels. The area that she's in the screenshot that's right here, not so much. That area sucks, but I just adore this game. I really do. The thing she's chasing is fucking stupid. Because essentially what it does is, if you stab yourself in the heart with it, you become an immortal dragon. But as long as somebody just gets under you and goes yoink and rips it out, you die immediately. It's a horrible little thing.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, don't you think? You have to stab yourself in the heart, but if they rip it out, you die.
Oh no, it makes sense, but it's like entirely exposed, so it's easy to get at. And it's why the final boss of the game is one of the easiest in the series.
I gotcha.
was really the buzz of the experience.
Along the way,
Listen, this game was made in 8 months. All right, you had to make
It
some
wasn't-
sacrifices.
It was, yeah, they Eidos is like, you have 7 days. Doesn't sound very immortal. Yeah, you're right.
It is, as long as you don't hit the weakness, you know, like the Death Star, that one little tube that you just have to destroy, or the port, the exhaust port.
she
Yep.
must battle sharks, eels, killer Dobermans,
Fuck yeah!
That was a
warrior
barracuda.
monks, and crazed cult members.
And Lara was the only character that could sort of save the world.
With the new game,
Crazy
comes
Italians.
a new wardrobe.
Yeah,
We'd said, look, she's been to all these exotic locations in the world, and suddenly she's going to go into the ice, and she can't have her little shorts, bless her, she's going to freeze. So we looked at, the...
so we just put a jacket on her, kept the booty short.
So we just put a jacket on her and keep her in the hot pants.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just like real British women.
bomber
Jesus.
jacket and different things that we could dress her in, but that was still in character.
Laura's modes of transportation.
Lara in a boat driving around Venice was so great for us to do.
And technological advances refine the beauties.
Those vehicles handle like
So
shit, by the way.
Lara
Oh, I
physically,
bet.
She went from having sort of...
This didn't have the dual joysticks, did it? During that time?
No.
Yeah.
No. All of this was done with the D-pad.
Oh, so this.
I think pretty much all of them were pretty much done with the D-pad until probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, because you could probably bet that those fucking vehicles controlled like asshole.
Even with analog sticks, they control like shit.
I bet.
I can't remember the exact number, but 180 sort of polygons, things that make her up, to maybe 200. So suddenly she became a little bit smoother.
The extra polygons enhance Laura in more ways.
She looks
than
like she
one.
has the downs.
IDOS releases her measurements as 38, 24, 34.
God damn it. Why? Who cares?
You know who cares? The people who asked, "Does Laura Croft go on vacation?"
Paul Baldwin cares.
Paul Baldwin had to let everyone know the perfection that he made.
Jesus Christ.
She's unproportioned. That's not natural. Physics aren't. It doesn't work like that.
We never intended to be sexist, and I hope we never came across as sexist. This was a character that we created and loved. I mean, we love Lara.
And fans
I love it. They have to justify. We weren't trying to be sexist. We just the
It just
18-year-old
happened.
made her that way.
I say who gives a fuck and don't listen to those people.
Exactly.
It
It was still a
doesn't
problem
matter.
even back then.
love Laura's new look and the new game. With smoother gameplay and more complex puzzles, Tomb Raider 2 sells more than 2 million
Eh,
copies
eh,
only weeks after its
Smo-
release on PC.
smooth is a strong word.
I would say it's definitely looks better than the first
It,
one.
it was an improvement, but not
Yes.
by much. Because again, 8 months.
It still looks good for
It's-
8 months.
Oh, it looks great for 8 months. And also it being, in my opinion, the best in the series, the fact that they made it in 8 months is astounding.
In November 1998.
It's that horrible word, and it's that must-have. It was a must-have game. People that had PlayStation, and it became their lives. These people, I know people that took weeks off work and sat in a room, in a dark room, and played Tomb Raider.
Other video game companies now
That's
have
concerning.
their own babe-like characters. Laura seems to have proven that girl power is dollar power, and that she
Ugh. I hate that line. Girl powers, dollar power. Ugh.
Yeah,
is the reigning queen
but
of video games.
to be fair,
There are Lara Croft
a lot of games, because of the success of Tomb Raider, did shoehorn quite a few like female characters into their games. Like, if I remember correctly, I was watching a YouTuber play like review a game on the PS1. I think it was called Death Trap Dungeon, and he said it like he kind of dug into it. It seemed very likely that the success of Tomb Raider forced them to create a like sexy female character in their game for the purposes of marketing.
I mean, that doesn't shock me. The video game industry is literally monkey see, monkey do. Look how many fucking Dark Souls like games have come out.
It's as somebody who enjoys Dark Souls, it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Even as someone that, I just hate the gameplay, but I appreciate the art. I'm just like so tired of seeing like, oh, it's a Souls like, especially from the fucking Chinese. Every fucking day it feels like the fucking Chinese market is making a new Souls like game. Here you go. Here you go. More
Yeah,
more ching chong slop.
Jesus Christ. But it's gotten out of hand with with the amount of Souls games, because most of them are bad. Most of them are dog shit. Like Darksiders 3. I fucking hate that game. I have a vendetta against that game.
Darksiders 3 is also a Souls like now.
Yes, it is.
Well, that just made me
and it's
not wanna
bad.
play it.
It's very bad. Don't play it.
And
It's a waste of
plans are
time.
announced for a live-action movie featuring
Oh,
Lara's
speaking of.
character. And the animated actress is invited on tour with one of the world's most popular bands.
It's you two on the phone. It's like, yeah, wow,
I thought it was a joke when I got an email from Agent Smith at Core saying, Bono called us. He wants to have Laura Croft.
It's
in the
Bono.
tour.
He's just thinking about his boner, all right? Boner.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I fucked it up. You know what? To be fair, I would also think it was a joke if U2, legendary band U2, by the way, called us up and said we want to have Laura Croft on our stage.
Honestly, was U2 ever legendary, or was that kind of just like a marketing thing?
U2 was pretty successful. It's hard to argue that they're not famous.
Okay, I don't
bef-
pay attention.
Even before like Bono became kind of cringe, like they were big. I had teachers, when I was in high school that were big U2 fans, and they had that iconic deal with Apple where everyone was forced to have the U2 CD,
God, I that just reminds me of like a joke I saw in like an abridged series. It's like, oh wow, like U2 put a new like a free album on my phone. How do I get a free album off my phone?
Yeah, I think everyone did. It's like at that point they were like kind of starting to lose their like luster with like the younger masses. So everyone's like, why the fuck is this on my phone?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Sandra, your mom is a U2 fan, right? Oh, never mind. I must be thinking of someone else.
Tour with the huge video screens. They want to have Laura Croft on there.
It was just like, Christ, these are huge megastars, and they'd like to use Lara. It was such an honor, really.
Wait. Hold on a second here. U2 had an iPod? What? Are you a U2 fan, Neo? I didn't know that. But only because it was black and red, didn't give a crap about. Okay, so there you go.
I mean, that's a pretty cool design for an iPod.
Yeah, well, I'm a collector's edition and like a special edition collector. Like
I am very aware.
there are like some consoles that like the game fucking sucks ass, but I'm like, that console would be pretty cool to have. Like the PS4 Battlefront one with Darth Vader on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. Or like everyone's like go-to for the 360 was the R2D2 one.
Yeah, the one that I really liked was the Gears of War one.
Which one? All of them have been pretty good.
Specifically like the dark red one.
The 360 or Xbox One?
360.
All right, because the Xbox One I think also had like one of those nice red ones as well. That was really cool.
I actually have the Master Chief one for the Xbox One.
Oh, the VCR?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I had? Before...
I need to replace the controllers because they're fucking mangled, but yes.
the Gears of War 5 one, the Xbox Series, the Xbox One X, like that one was awesome. I love that one a lot. And it was hard to let that one go. That and the God of War PS4 Pro, like those were two hard ones to let go. But I just like, I just need the money and I just need the space, you know?
Yeah.
And then Pop Culture Mechanic here says, yeah, I really wanted to delete those U2 songs off my phone. It was easy to do. I wonder if people still have the rights to that, or was it like a one-time thing, you know? I don't even remember the CD. Do you?
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, we could Google it, but this isn't about you. Well, this technically is about U2 right now, but this is a stream about U2.
Laura's Invincible. In November 1998, Tomb Raider 3: Adventures of Lara Croft is
Ah,
released.
crap.
Tomb Raider 3 had a lot of suggestions from gameplay that we took from the gamers and the folks from Core, digested them and picked the ones that made sense and actually put them in there.
Lara's new quest has her searching for an ancient meteor that possesses life-giving powers, set in 5 dazzling new locations, like India, Antarctica, and England.
England's not dazzling.
No.
England is miserable.
A little bit slinkier in
England's
in
like
movement.
India right
We
now
sort of
anyway, right?
reanimated
Hey, look, she's wearing
it
pants.
almost.
Oh, wow.
We sort of
Upgrade.
re-looked at all of the moves that she'd had and changed them all.
Let's meet the new, more limber Lara.
We introduced elements that we'd never had before, crawling. We sort of went a lot more on the climbing element of it and the monkey swing element of it.
New vehicles. And even more evil enemies.
I don't know why that was
Initial
funny to me.
sales are promising, but for the first time, reviews are less than glowing.
For me, as a consumer and player,
So it's the gamers' fault. They listened to
'Cause-
gamers and it
'cause-
sucked.
The reviews of the game aren't glowing because the game isn't very good. And also, so this game, you know how everyone used to really tism about false choices in games? Like where
Used
they
to?
give you a choice, but it it kind of just leads to the same outcome no matter what.
Yeah, I think they still do. I don't think they used to. I think they still do. Yeah.
But it used to be really bad when games for no reason gave you choices that didn't matter. In this game, after the India levels, you have a choice between 3 sections. You can go to Nevada, you can go to Southeast Asia, or you can go to London. You can choose them in any order because you have to complete all 3 of them. But the problem is that if you don't do it the right way, it punishes you really badly in the original. The remaster fixed this, but it heavily punishes you because
What's
in
the-
Nevada, you get captured
Okay.
and they take all of your guns and all of your ammo and all of your med packs and everything.
All right.
In the original, they only gave you your guns back. So if you did it last, like I did, you're fucked for the rest of the game.
Well, so pop culture, to be fair, all these video games came out like back to back to back to back to back, So they couldn't really wait for the PS2. They were like forced to like death march these games out. Like 8
Oh
months,
yeah,
8 months between the first and the second one, and that was 96, right?
yeah. They didn't. Yeah, it's the first one was 96. The next one was 97. The next one was 98. They did not have a choice but to move forward. And in fact, Eidos got so greedy that Tomb Raider Chronicles and Angel of Darkness were being developed at the same time.
Champ. That's what they all should do.
of the game as well as obviously being responsible for it. I think the third was probably our weakest.
Your perception is bad.
I don't know about that. Lara's fans were disappointed.
Yeet!
Nothing could prepare them for what would come next.
Angel of
Don't you
Darkness.
think you've seen enough?
By January 1999, the Lara Croft video game franchise is a goldmine.
Lara Croft launched IDOS literally in '96, and we We rode on the back of Laura to where in 1999 we were literally the fastest growing stock on the NASDAQ, the fastest growing company, mid-sized company in the world. Our stock went from something like 9 to 109 in less than a year.
Oh, I
Laura
didn't
is
know
a
that.
fantasy. She is what everybody wants to be, boy or girl. She represents, in a way,
Do you want to be Laura Croft?
No,
I guess they lied, because I also don't want to be Laura Croft.
that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Seems like a lot of work. I don't want to like get into a gunfight with raptors. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It would be a cool story, but I'm good. There's a reason why I never wanted to join the military either. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Ando joining us. Hello, Ando. Crash 2 came out like a year after the first one. Devs were really fast and rushed back then. I mean, we talked about it as a joke in your Discord. Like the Dot Hack games, all 4 of them came out in 1 calendar year time. You know?
You know, it was very much development time back then was like it was easier to get a game out within a year, but that didn't mean it was always good.
Right.
And unfortunately, because of the absurdist popularity, IDOS was like, we're running this into the ground. You need to do this. We need to keep profits up. Because this property was like IDOS's like main cash cow.
Right. I mean,
At that point.
Well, you just heard the guy say that like they were like the fastest growing stock, for people.
Yeah.
So it was very clear
But
why.
But and it's not to say that IDOS didn't have good properties under their wing, but this was their chief product because they had, because I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. I think they had like they published the Thief games. I think they published the early Deus Ex games.
Yeah.
So and I think some of the early Hitman games as well. They had good properties, but at this point in time, Tomb Raider was it. And so they went full bore and they overworked core design pretty much to extinction and then took the property away from them because they weren't doing enough. And they weren't good enough to get what IDOS wanted, which is ironic because IDOS is the one that put them in that position in the first place.
Yeah, it's it kind of comes back to the modern day gaming debate. Like, what is the correct like amount of time for game length? Like these devs were death marching basically to get like a game out. But like what we learned from other episodes with like Insomniac and stuff like that too, is that they could do these quick turnarounds a lot easier because they just basically reused asset after asset and just made it look smoother and stuff like that. But then we see today that some of these games are taking 4, 5, 6, hell 7 years to come out, and it's just like, well, what's the correct length of time? I think 2 and 3 year dev cycles is the way of that gaming should always be at.
Yeah, it should be that way, and it's generally how that goes. Because honestly, it's a double-edged sword where some publishers and devs want to do like overly expensive nonsense, and then on the other side you have customers overly demanding like oddly top-end graphics, and then they get insanely butthurt when reused assets are being put in, and they're like, it saves fucking time. Go away. Shut up.
It is the big issue I see with like especially console fanboys online, where it's just like they ping pong like different insane arguments out there, and I'm just like, guys, you all need to just shut up sometimes. I swear to God. All right, let's.
Oh yeah, like in And I was talking about it like, Yakuza spits out games like nearly every year, and that's because they just reuse everything. And I'm fine with that. Like, I haven't really played any Yakuza game outside of like a couple hours of Zero, but I had fun. It's not really for me, but
all the
it's
Yakuzas
good.
are great. You need to play the pirate one. Be a pirate.
I think I have one of them.
I don't know what.
I don't know if I don't have the newest one, but I have one of them.
I'll ship you 5 copies. Don't worry.
No thanks. Done
You can't
that.
stop me. When I go to Florida, you're gonna have like a Brinks truck full of games.
Please don't do that.
An Indiana Jones type character where you can go out and find something, hunt it down, take care of the baddies, and then prevail over evil.
Wow.
IDOS stock is soaring thanks to strong Christmas 1998 sales of Tomb Raider 3. Soon after, however, sales of the new game begin to slow.
We created very large environments, and we didn't guide them through enough. I think in hindsight, when we look back now, we gave them a key and we said, go and find where you use this key. We didn't tell them, and they'd have that key for hours, and they couldn't find where to use it, and it almost became frustrating.
So when Tomb Raider
3 is a lot more obtuse than the previous 2.
Those rates of sale with other.
So like I always say this, I don't need my hand held, but a push in the right direction. You know.
But the thing is that how Tomb Raider 1 and 2 and I think 4 and 5 kind of redid this is the way that they had a tendency to kind of hold your hand but allow you to figure it out yourself was if you pick up an item and you see the door open, like it shows you a screenshot of where the door opened. It usually means that door is far enough away to where you'll forget where it is. So they're showing it to you. But if you pick it up or you pull a switch and nothing happens, or you hear something move, chances are it's close by.
Right.
That they use that in I believe like 2 onwards, with like the exception of 3, because 3 was a lot more obtuse. The areas were a lot more expansive and kind of empty and boring. I'm not a fan of 3. Anybody who is wrong. Like 1 is a little different because it was kind of novel and they had no real idea what they were doing, like in terms of like what they specifically wanted everything to kind of blend together. So sometimes it would be very close by, sometimes it wouldn't be, and they'd still show it. But in 2 like onwards, that's kind of the design philosophy they use, which is a nice way of nudging you in the right direction without telling you, hey, it's over there.
Games.
Like objective
So
markers.
We purchase companies, or we put other games in development.
God, I love those big box
but
PC
nothing
games.
had the same impact as Tomb Raider. So you go back to core and say, well, we need Tomb Raider 4 now.
Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation
Of course.
was released for Christmas 1999.
You have 8 months.
But Laura's fans are more than frustrated by the 4th game.
I don't think anybody was happy with the game at the end of the day. We felt
I
our
actually
results
like
could have
it.
been better. We were asking way too much of the team, expecting them to be able to put these types of games out year on year on year.
We said, look, we've been everywhere. We've been into London, we've been into sewers. Let's get back to Tomb Raider. Let's go back to Egypt. Let's go back to where we started.
There you go.
But for Laura, going back to her roots will be her last adventure. She finally meets her match in an Egyptian tomb.
So we came up with the idea of killing her off.
Quickly, girl, before it collapses around you.
We also thought we'd get a holiday if she wasn't around. We always thought that the consumers never believe for one moment we're going to kill Lara.
Well, he hints at it, but
Although
those
sales
dev
for the
cycles were
shocking
brutal.
sequel don't reach earlier records.
Yeah.
Laura's fans do show up to bid her a final farewell.
I mean, everybody can say, well, it wasn't that great a game, but then you look at Tomb Raider 4 and it still sold multiple millions of units. So it couldn't have been that bad.
The end of
see,
The Last
I-
Revelation was an important sort of milestone for us because that meant that the next generation games were being developed and being worked on.
For years, the debate has raged over which actress will play Lara in the long-anticipated feature film. And the winner is...
What was the most gratifying part for me is seeing Angelina Jolie portray those exact same qualities. You know, Angelina herself is like that, from what I've heard, but she certainly portrayed Lara Croft in that way.
From what I've heard.
Take no prisoners gal, and that's Lara Croft.
God.
In a pleasant surprise for fans, Lara rises from the dead in December of 2000 for the release of her next game, Tomb Raider Chronicles.
We had
Not really.
Sort of no intention of doing the 5th game, but it sort of meshed in with the development process, and we sort of had 2 teams. One team that were very focused on next generation at that point. We had this idea. There were a few loose ends we wanted to tidy up.
To the study, gentlemen, where we may pontificate over the day's disheartening events.
And we did it as a
Pontificate?
flashback. We thought, let's
Indeed, my friend.
let's go and do that whole sort of, you know, flashback thing with young Lara.
This place gives me the creeps.
There were holes in the
Oh yeah.
history that never
One
filled.
thing that's actually really interesting about Tomb Raider 4, it's the only Tomb Raider with a tutorial level, which is really fucking weird because we're 4 games in already. It's like, if you're playing this, you've played the others. So
Yeah.
you know what you're doing already. But what I will say is, I know a lot of people don't particularly like those levels. I love them. I think they're actually a really good intro to how Tomb Raider functions. And I think it would have been a fantastic way for people to get introduced in the first game, just not in the fourth. Because how it was normally done is in the first 3 games, you had like Croft Manor that you could fuck around in
Yeah.
and learn how to play the game. And that was how many people learned. In 4 and in 5, they didn't have it. So that's how you learned.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Lara as a 16-year-old, where she met this character Von Croy, who was her.
That's not in Tomb Raider Chronicles. That's in Tomb Raider Last Revelation, you goobers.
Plays a fairly big part in next generation.
So they fucked this up on their own game?
Yes, they fucked that
Dead or
up.
alive, the games keep coming. A new Lara Croft game is announced for November 2002.
No.
It got delayed.
It's going to be called The Angel of Darkness.
No!
It is
And it's
Lara
bad.
in a whole
No!
new light, in a whole new world, a little darker, a little
The
edgier,
power of
great.
Christ
She's
compels
got,
me. Get
her
out.
brother's Lara. She's going to be a new Lara with a new look, and she's in a lot of trouble. And you
Yeah,
gotta
she
help
was
her
in a
out.
lot of trouble.
God, that game.
Something happens in the beginning of this game, which suddenly the world is out to get Lara, which is totally alien to her, and that means that the situation that she's in, what she has to do, is very, very different.
People are going to get a much more in-depth look at her personality, actually be able to experience her feelings, her fears, her likes. her
No, they
dislikes
fucking won't.
For the first time.
You'll see
And
what
for
I
the
finally
first
see in
time,
her.
Players will feel a special connection with Lara, unlike any before.
The Lara that you play will be potentially different than the Lara that I play, not physically in looks, but maybe in outfit, but more so in ability. I might be able to run a little bit faster than you, so I can get through that door that you can never get to because it closes before you get there, but you might be able to climb better than me, so you can shimmy around that corner and drop into that room that I can't get into.
What?
What are you talking
The
about?
Tailed heroine lives
Yeah,
on,
what?
at least in some sort of alternate universe, and in the hearts of fans worldwide.
What does
Man,
Lara
this did
represent?
not really go
Somebody
into-
that really knows her mind. She really has a zest for life.
Lara Croft was not only a video icon, she was the digital diva and still is for all of computer technology.
Even today, we've seen lots.
I still have a shrine to her
They've always
Yeah, you
been
do.
in my
the-
basement.
The next sort of Lara Croft.
Good lord,
Still
Paul, go away.
She reigns supreme.
She is the industry icon for the next generation of hardware. Just
Lara Croft is kind of a role model for women out there who find themselves sometimes in a male world where they can
Uh-oh.
say, you know what, I'm my own woman.
Oh.
I don't need men.
Oh,
I
one
make my own
second.
rules.
As long as you have, daddy's money to go on absurd adventures.
You could do anything in life, women, if your dad was rich. If you were of proper breeding.
No. Yeah, so this didn't really go into like the absurdist like kind of relationship between Core and Eidos, because Eidos was a really shitty publisher to Core, essentially forcing them to with ridiculous incentives, essentially, you know, like the results they would get for the sales were quite high. But these dev cycles were so like absurd that these people were like sleeping in their offices and barely seeing their families. I think one of the developers actually got a divorce because of it, because his wife's like, I don't see you anymore. It was nasty. And over the course of several games, a lot of the original people were leaving because they're like, I can't do this anymore.
I mean,
and
that's like a story that we hear all the time, though, with gaming. We heard that with like Rockstar and other very popular franchises too. You know, it's not an uncommon thing for crunch and everything else to kind of like consume some of these guys, especially as we've seen with our good friend Paul. It's just some of them really took it to like the next level.
Oh yeah, and you know, Pop Culture Mechanics said it right. It's like crunch time from day one. Like it was absurd. And one of the particular like heads of core design really hated what Eidos was doing, because Eidos is the reason that it became that she became kind of like a sex icon of the 90s. And he didn't like it, so he left as a result after the first game. And you know, and they kind of hinted at it, but the Angel of Darkness game was eventually what was started as like a dual project along with Chronicles. Both of those games are vastly considered the worst of the core design games.
Right.
Basically, they had a whole separate team working on it who basically had no idea what they were doing. And because the PS2 was such new hardware that they didn't really understand it. And Eidos apparently, I'm just reiterating what I saw in this video, not all of it may be true, but apparently, you know, it's same thing that, you know, high-end execs always do, where they're like, oh, well, we need these features because all these other games have these features, and oh, we need to do all of this. So it was going to be like a pseudo open world kind of game with like experience and side quests. Like there's this one guy in Paris who was apparently supposed to talk to you and have, I think, have like a mini side quest. And all he does in the actual game, because they had to cut it, was he looks at you and goes, "Leave me alone, I'm busy." That's all he does. Like, he is a grouchy old man who does not talk to you and does not want to talk to you.
Sounds about right. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
he was French, very on point.
Yes, he was a very bitter old man, and I laugh every time I see him. But, you know, and what's funny is that what makes Angel of Darkness so particularly bad is the like rudimentary XP system that they have in the game, because how it works is she apparently pushes a box and she goes, "I'm stronger now," and now she can like move a little faster and jump a little farther, and she can kick down doors and go, "I'm stronger now." And it keeps changing the fundamentals of the game to where you're never particularly comfortable with how she moves. And she already operates like a fucking fridge on a dolly because they had no idea what they were doing. So when you're operating her, you have no idea how she's actually supposed to move, because it keeps changing how she moves throughout the game. And it's not like a Metroidvania where they're just tacking on new mechanics like a double jump or a dash. They're changing like the fundamental movements of Lara, which makes it very difficult to actually get used to her. And the problem is that in an action adventure game, you have to know how to move in order to actually progress. And the story is silly. and they tried to give her more of a character, but it failed.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to keep the magic going forever, right?
I mean, when you're creating 6 games in what, 8 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, eventually it bleeds. They just bleed into each other, and it's one of the reasons why I beat so many of the other more modern ones. Is because of their development cycles. They really couldn't improve on much through each iteration, and they started to get kind of muddled together when I was replaying them in prep work for this stream. And it got to the point where I was kind of losing my mind and needed a break. So I played many of the more modern ones instead, and didn't have time to finish 4 or 5. And by the way, anybody, I didn't even attempt to touch 6 because I don't hate myself. I'm not doing that again. But yeah, it's fascinating, all of the things that they had to do to make these games work, and and it's why people love the originals so much, so almost to like a religious perspective. It's kind of obnoxious, because as there are some pretty popular YouTubers who like adore these games.
Yeah.
And in many cases won't even say like the bad ones are bad, and it's like, sorry, they are. I know a lot of people don't particularly like 4, but 4 was probably the biggest departure out of any of them, because it actually had a more open concept, as opposed to kind of like a more linear approach to each of the levels. Like, you could go to each, like, they're actually broken up into sections. It's a one major level with sections that are kind of their own micro level. And you have to collect everything from each of these micro sections in order to move on, which leads to a very obtuse experience. But I found the structure interesting enough to where I was into it when I was playing. I ended up getting to the worst part of the game, and I got bored and moved on. So these collections, the second one is basically the bad games. Yes. So there are 2 major collections of the remasters. The first is the first 3 games. The second is the second 3 games. The second remaster, yes, they're bad, mostly. Tomb Raider 4 is the reason that you get the second one. It's not, like, I like it more than Tomb Raider 1, because I find Tomb Raider 1 to be a bit dull at times. Maybe it's because I've played it so many times. But it's not held in high regard by a lot of people. So, and 5 is kind of lifeless. It doesn't really have much direction to it. And a lot of that is because you hear interviews from people from Core Design. They're literally just telling you, I'm just here for a paycheck. And, and you've seen it probably in your work, Carl. Like, it's just, when somebody's there for a paycheck, their work rate does not go up at all.
Yeah.
And the quality of their work does not go up.
Exactly.
So the interesting thing about Chronicles is it's basically a greatest hits. It's not a Chris Brown greatest hits. It's a greatest hits of her like greatest adventures, and which is a lie, but that's how they kind of frame it. So it's separated into 4 sections. It's Rome, it's Rome, Russia, Ireland, and what's it called? It's some sci-fi setting, and parts of it are fun for me, but most of it is trash. Like Rome is very lifeless and uninteresting. Russia, they attempted kind of stealth gameplay. They wanted it to be similar to Metal Gear Solid, and not. It's bad. Ireland's an oddity because Ireland takes place like when Lara is young, and it's a very kind of horror aspect. And it's a very obtuse level design, but it's also very creepy because there are like these weird little penguin demons in it that basically eat something alive that you trapped in a cage, and it's actually kind of traumatizing. And then the sci-fi parts are interesting, but it relies heavily on precision aiming through a scope, and you've aimed through scopes on a D-pad before. It's not fun.
Right.
So Chronicles has its charms, but it's mostly bad. It's mostly bad. But I like the Ireland parts. I found them interesting. And Rome is fine, but it's just, there's not much to it. The other two are pretty bad. 3 is okay. 1 and 2 are very good. If you're not really convinced on getting both, just get the first one. And I would recommend anybody get the collections that have come out, because they actually make the games playable. Because the problem with older games on Steam is getting them to work on modern hardware is a fucking mess, despite the fact that they're cheaper. And you get updated graphics. The graphics aren't always good. At times you'll see dark, some areas are way too dark than the original graphics. So you'll actually be switching to and from original graphics to newer ones more as kind of like a gameplay mechanic in order to see where you're going or to find items that you can pick up, which I think is interesting, but they're far too dark.
All right.
I would recommend anybody play these games. They are fun, and then the more modern ones are actually quite good, with the exception of like 2 of them.
Okay. Well, everyone, go check out those Tomb Raider games. I know that they are out physically for every console, and you can get them digitally as well for a lot cheaper. I don't think the second collection is out physically yet. I think it's out in like October. Right, but they're coming around. But go check out the first 3, see if you like them, and then see if you want to go and suffer, or just check out the Modern Trilogy too. Those are also really good games, I hear, as well. I think we can start like winding down here if you don't mind. You can have your final thoughts there, Mr. JM.
I would recommend anybody, if they want to play the first game, don't play the PlayStation version, because the PlayStation version of that game has saved crystals. It is it's not good. Because the PC version allows you to save anywhere. The PlayStation 1 version does not. You have to save at specific points. And I love these games. I even tested out the OG ones on my Evercade, which I have one of those. And they have 2 collections for those of the first 5. And they're actually quite fun.
All right. So yeah, with that being said, we'll kind of close this episode out right now. We will be back later on tonight, 8 p.m. Central, to talk about John Madden football with our friend Mr. Sophomore John, and maybe a few other people that decide to stop by. I'm going to kind of leave that one open because football is starting to get back. Training camps are open. So yeah, we'll be back a little bit later tonight for that. JM, thank you for coming on, man. It's been a while, and I'm very thankful that you said yes to doing one of these.
Yes, hopefully I won't have to play 12 games in 1.5 months next time I'm on.
No, you definitely won't.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So with that being said, everyone, we'll see you again a little bit later tonight. Go enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and we'll see you later tonight. Have a good one.